Welcome back to episode 15 of Midnight Movie Reviews. So this week we sadly don't have a guest with us, but we're still going to bring you a great episode, and that episode's going to be The Martian, directed by Ridley Scott. This is honestly a really great movie. In my opinion, it could be considered a classic. It's really similar to another movie we already reviewed called Interstellar. I think it's the same universe. What do we think, guys?
It's a prequel.
It's a prequel.
Pretty close.
Yeah, it's same uniform. It's a similar universe.
Matt Damon's in both.
Matt Damon's in both, wearing the same colored uniform. Yeah. It's
pretty much.
They're pretty much the same movie. No, they're not. But yeah. So I'm gonna read us the summary, and we're just gonna head right into our regular questions. So, during a manned mission to Mars, Mark Watney is presumed dead after a fierce storm, and he's left behind by his crew. But Watney had survived and finds himself stranded and alone on a hostile planet, which is Mars. With only meager supplies, he must draw upon his ingenuity, wit, and spirit to subsist and find a way to signal the Earth that he left and that he is actually alive. Does he succeed? Yes. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so can I get a general opinion from everybody?
Luke, why don't you start us off?
All right. I recently just watched this for the first time, and I really enjoyed it. It was very suspenseful, kept you on the edge of your seat the whole time. Great acting too. Honestly, I mean, everything was it was a lot different than it had a different feel from Interstellar, as like you didn't have to get to see into like the main character's life back at home. It kind of just started you out in space, but I think that's okay because you kind of got to know the main character through the struggles he went through on Mars, and yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. How about you, Nick?
Yeah, this was like my third or fourth time seeing it. I really enjoyed this movie. Like, I literally just watched it this week before we even knew we were gonna watch it, because I thought, ooh, I like this movie. I just want to watch it again because I really enjoy it. I like watching like space movies, and obviously Matt Damon, really talented actor, and I really like the plot. And without getting too much into it, I just really enjoyed it. What do you think, Misha?
I mean, I haven't watched this movie. I didn't watch it just recently, but I really enjoyed this movie. I've seen it maybe 2 or 3 times. Honestly, one of my most favorite Ridley Scott movies, and one of my most favorite space movies in general, because to me, it's realistic. It's science fiction, but totally realistic science fiction. It's not like Star Trek in the sense that, because Star Trek obviously is so far in the future, but this is like now. This movie will be 10 years from now. So it seems very attainable what they have, because it's like practically the same thing, except they're just a bit further ahead than us. I really like this movie. Great actors, like you guys said. There's a lot of not joke actors, but you know, the comedic actors, which I really enjoyed. That was a fun little bit. Like, was it Michael Pena, right? He's in that movie, right? Or I'm crazy. Yeah, Michael Pena. You know, real funny guy. I really like his character. But otherwise, I really love Mark Watney's story. Really fun. Adam, what did you think, my dude?
Well, to be honest, I didn't enjoy this movie as much as I did like before when I watched it this time. I don't know why. Like, I still like it. It's still great.
Is it just because I don't know, maybe you're like pooped or something? It's not in the mood for the movie?
I don't know. I did watch it like 3 a.m.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah,
maybe.
Probably why.
Yeah,
you were like, I can't space. What, bro? You're in Mars? No, not really.
Yeah. I mean, it's been said that it's similar to Interstellar. I don't really see that.
They're probably filmed at the same time,
kind of
right?
just like with the space aspect.
Yeah.
And this was based on a book.
Yeah, and I've read the book too.
Yeah.
It's again, the
Yeah.
book is actually one of my most favorite books of all time.
It's a good book.
It is a really good book. I remember I read it in 5th grade, and I like opened the first word is fuck, and I remember I was like to my friends, I was like, guys, look what I have.
Yeah.
You were cool if you had that
remember
book. You were an epic gamer
Yeah.
if you had that book. You get all the ladies. You whip out your copy of The Martian, boom, insta pussy. That's how it works.
Yeah.
All right, Adam, why don't you move us along, my dude? I say, he's my
All right.
dude.
Let's
You are my dude.
talk about characters and acting, and I'll start here. One thing I found, like, the thing that I disliked most about this movie was the characters and acting. It reminded me of, like, classic science fiction a lot. Like, I don't know if you've ever read Foundation, but
Have
like,
not.
essentially, the very roots of science fiction, it's more about the ideas than, like, characters or even plot. It's more about, like, hey, here's time travel and here's how it works, and here's a story built around that. It's not really about the characters. So, like, in like classic science fiction novels like Foundation, the characters are basically like overlooked, and I felt like this movie was a lot like that. You know, it was more like, oh, here's Mark Watney growing plants on Mars, and it's less about the characters. There's a lot of characters in this movie, and an unnecessary amount. Like Misha said before, there was a lot of like somewhat famous people in this movie.
More
and I
like
felt
more comedic, like Donald
Yeah.
Glover. Donald Glover is not really. I mean, he's
Right.
he's an okay actor. That's not his thing. His thing is music.
Yeah. Like,
But like he was there in small doses, and I mean, I like Donald Glover in a movie. He's a good guy, but you know.
yeah, but like there was a lot of people just like thrown in there to say, hey, this person's in this movie, right? Like
Yeah.
Sean Bean's character.
Sean Bean isn't dying in the scene. Like what?
That was really off-putting. But like his character was kind of just there. Like I don't remember his name. I don't know why he's even there, but he's
Henderson, something Henderson.
there. Yeah, and his small part of the movie could have been done by like other characters that were already there.
I don't think they should have cast Sean Bean. That's not his forte. This movie style is not his
Yeah.
forte.
Yeah. But yeah, and like Luke said, you're just thrown into space. There's no setup. There's no like seeing the characters at home. It just starts.
Like the
And-
reason why Interstellar, sorry to interrupt, but the reason why Interstellar did such a good job and it was so emotional because it starts you off on Earth in like wait, I thought that I was supposed to watch a space movie and it starts you on Earth. They're chasing a drone, like that's so unrelated, and they only get to space like half an hour into the movie, and that it's good because it builds emotions up in that first half hour. I mean, this movie, Adam, like I feel like what they were going for in this movie, instead of like super crazy character development, I think it was more of like, yeah, science on Mars, like we can actually do stuff, like people can thrive, like in movie sense. I think that's the whole thing.
Like,
It was like it was problem solving that had characters built around it instead of problem solving built around the character.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, I did enjoy that aspect of the movie. It's just that you saw them talking about and like talking to their families for a brief moment, and it would have been really meaningful, but it kind of just wasn't because you
Yeah.
didn't know their relationship with them at all, and
Like-
it was just kind of like, oh, well, that's their families, and
Yeah,
then
like,
just
com-
like, yeah, and
Compare
you just
that
kind of
to
forget
the.
about them.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry
Yeah.
for
Sorry about that,
interrupting,
Adam.
Luke.
No, it's okay.
No, I interrupted you, but compare that to the Interstellar scene where, you know, he's getting the videos from his kids, and that's like
Yeah.
one of the best scenes in the movie. That's like so emotional and amazing.
All right,
Amazing
let's
acting.
cry.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, we can't have the same movie. We all love Interstellar, but like,
Yeah. But that's
you
just
can't
like
have
its
it
own
follow
movie.
the same
Yeah.
line. Yeah, they're their own two different movies.
Yeah.
It's not really something I can take off on for this movie. It sure would have made it more meaningful, but then again, we can't have it be the same exact like movie as Interstellar.
Yeah.
but to like continue what I was saying earlier, like and I'll talk about this more in the pacing section, but the beginning of the movie, like the first 5 minutes pass and he's already like stranded there. Like there's so little setup and it's so fast paced at the beginning where it really shouldn't be. You don't really get to see him interact with his crewmates much at all.
Yeah, you're right.
What about on the spaceship? What about on that? What about that?
Well, yeah, during the end, but like this whole movie, you're going through seeing this guy alone, not interacting with anyone until the end.
I mean, I feel like they just drop it in, like multiple like hints about like how the captain likes the disco music, and like you kind of get like a sense of like what the other like spaceship people are doing, like the spaceship people, sorry,
but like
astronauts, like you kind of get a little sense of their lives, and then you get to see like their interactions of like, ooh, we gotta go save him, and then we get to kind of like see their point of view and then like NASA's point of view. I mean, they could have done a little bit better, like more work on the character development, kind of like what you said, but like I don't think it's as bad as you made it seem.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna disagree. I think like you were saying with the disco music, the characters' relationships are built on more superficial things, like the ongoing, disco music joke. And like you don't get to see them like have experiences together, like go through emotions together, right? Like it just doesn't seem.
Does it seem like
well
force
done.
fed in a way? Like it's just forced.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem forced. It was more of just like, it's more of just really unexplained. It's just like, oh, she likes disco. I'm gonna play it.
Yeah, but I mean, for a movie like this where like there's so much isolation going on, it's kind of hard to believe that isolation if you don't really see him without the isolation in the first place. Like you do, but for like 5 minutes. Like it's not.
But like I said, the point of the movie wasn't to be around like epic character development, because that wasn't the point of the movie. It was more of just space.
But that's not an excuse for it to not be done well.
That's true. I know.
Okay. Well, does anyone else have anything to say?
No, not right now. Yeah.
All right. So now let's talk about dialogue. Who wants to go first?
I'll go. So, I really think that this movie was kind of devoid of dialogue in the Watney scenes, because obviously he's by himself, but I like how he does do the little video chat things every so often. And obviously someone wouldn't be talking when, like, realistically, I don't think I'd be doing that much talking if I'm all alone on a different planet, right?
Obviously.
But I really liked how they added that thing where he talks to the camera. That was good, because otherwise it would just feel very boring. But otherwise, I like the kind of quippy sort of asshole scientists versus the NASA people. Like, that was good. I liked that.
Yeah.
Nothing felt super out of place, but sometimes things did feel forced, like we said before.
Yeah. I mean, the dialogue was a little bit cheesy at times, but I actually like that. I feel like Interstellar was. I mean, I know I'm gonna stop comparing it to Interstellar after this, but in Interstellar, like, it was trying to be super serious, and it was great at doing that. But like, this wasn't, and it was great at doing that.
Yeah, they were both great at their own things, and in Interstellar, I think I kind of get what you were saying, Adam. Like, they didn't really have or establish like an aspect of humor at all, but in this movie, they drop a few funny lines in every so often, and I kind of enjoyed that, just like comic relief.
Yeah.
Yeah. But dialogue, I think it was where it needed to be. I didn't really notice too much.
Nothing crazy, nothing horrible.
I mean, nothing crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to say. Like, I just like enjoy his like little remarks towards NASA, and just like him just going through life, and then just like the video thing. I really like that too. I'm really just repeating what everybody's saying pretty much, but I think the dialogue just did what it needed to do, and yeah, I don't really much to say.
All right.
So yeah.
So let's move on to the visual effects. I was actually really surprised because what I remember from this movie is that they were like perfect, but I actually noticed that it looked like pretty fake a lot of times, and that was really off-putting.
What looked
Yeah,
fake?
there's just
What
some
looked fake
shots
to you?
where like it didn't exactly like all the stuff didn't blend with the background right.
Yeah, like the
especially in-
lighting on the character was off. It didn't like light sources didn't match.
Yeah, and the lighting was really, really bad in the final like rescue scene where they're like out with the tether.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, something I really liked for visuals was definitely that explosion of the lab.
Oh,
That was very
yeah,
cool. That was
was good.
practical.
That was
good because it was
nice.
practical. At least I think it was practical. It looked pretty real.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just in general, I like the Mars aesthetic. I like the orange tint. That was very well done.
Yeah.
Like the majority of the time on Mars, colors were really good. And I'm assuming that the rovers or the truck, I forget what they're called. What are they called? Whatever, the truck.
I think it was like a rover. I don't know.
Yeah,
Whatever.
rovers.
They look pretty good. They look pretty real jumping around on the thing. On the surface.
Most of like
I mean,
most of the like the big wide shots of Mars though were pretty good.
Yeah, they look cool.
yeah. I thought,
And obviously they
visuals in
went there
general-
and filmed it at Mars, like obviously.
yeah,
They
of
just had
course.
to, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. But I thought the visual effects in general were just like really great. I mean, I didn't really notice the lighting stuff too much, and that's not something I pick up on unless I study this movie in depth, and that's not really what I do.
I get that.
So I mean, yeah, and it was just really immersive. I'd say almost on the same level as Interstellar.
No, I disagree
I
with
would
that.
say. I mean, it was really great. I think.
I mean, I don't
I think it's
feel
better
like
than you're giving it credit for.
no.
honestly.
I'm not saying this necessarily as a negative. I just don't think it's meant to be immersive. It's meant to be like I don't know how to put
What do
that.
you mean it's what? Why
mean,
wouldn't you want your visuals to be
like-
immersive?
Well,
Why would you not?
not just talking about the visuals, just talking about like the tone of the movie. I just it's not
Tone of
necessarily
the movie. What do you?
I don't know. I don't know exactly how to say it.
Okay.
I mean, I just feel like what Luke's just trying to say is like the visuals, obviously space looks really cool, and like shooting on another planet, that's like really, really cool.
Yeah, they actually went to Mars for this movie, guys, if you didn't know.
Obviously. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, just like the visuals, they look cool because I mean, space looks cool. So yeah.
Space is cool. That is something you can't hate on.
Yeah.
Unless you're some sort of weirdo.
Exactly.
All right, Adam, let's get a
Yeah.
move on.
Okay. Now let's talk about plot structure. So the plot structure for me, I thought it was pretty good. Nothing like super out of the ordinary in terms of plot structure. It was like I didn't like though how like they just threw in just random characters and made random scenes for those characters.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's good to bring in some light into movies, because obviously it's just kind of depressing just to watch this person suffer on Mars for like over a year. So I get why they thought it would be a good idea to add that in. But it's like sometimes when does too much become too much? And I feel like they started to cross that line because they had too many of those types of characters, and they kind of got annoying.
They had it.
Go on, Nick.
Yeah, they just had a couple like tiny little characters, like the guy who like came up with the calculations for the thing to slingshot around the Earth back to Mars.
Mhm.
Like,
I mean,
Okay,
that
what do
guy-
you with that?
was-
Why is that guy not necessary? Give me one reason. He was completely necessary.
He's necessary. He's necessary. It's just
He
like
was the mastermind behind this whole thing.
okay. What I'm trying to say is
They threw that in there. Like anyone who's like
What?
that works at NASA could have done that.
Okay, well,
Okay.
I sort of agree, sort of disagree. Yeah, he was a crucial part, but like his scenes, like his 3 scenes that he was in, felt really thrown in there. Like they just were so separated from everything else that was going on, and then he kind of just vanished for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, you didn't really see him after
the main guy just told him to get out, and then that was it. Like he should have been there for the rest of the movie. And like, okay, here's a better example. Kristen Wiig's character is absolutely pointless.
Who's Kristen?
Oh, was she the one who first like saw the movement
Kristen
on
Wiig is
Mars?
Kristen Wiig is the actress.
That one, yeah.
Yeah.
The like the blondish one.
The tall blonde with the glasses.
Tall blonde one. Yes.
Not the one that like first like saw him alive.
No. I meant like the first, like see him like through the satellites and stuff.
Like see the movement.
Not her.
Oh no. Wait.
No, she's like high ranking at NASA. She you probably
the
don't
other
even
blonde
remember.
one. The other blonde one. The other blonde. Yeah, she was kind of pointless. Yeah, I don't even know what she did.
They had to meet the woman code of the movie.
Yeah, basically. But she had like 3 lines and stood there for the whole movie.
They could have made her character seem so much more interesting if they like did it right. But I guess they were probably just rushing to get stuff done by then.
I couldn't tell you like what exactly she did during this movie because
forgettable.
I just really just forgettable. But I mean, if we're talking about plot structure here, I really liked the flow of the plot. I mean, it wasn't extremely confusing. It was really pretty easy to follow, but unlike Interstellar, where you really had to put some thought into it. And I'm not saying one is better than the other. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like it suited this movie just fine. I mean, what do you guys think?
Yeah.
I mean, like this is a lot more following like general movie structure rather than complex plot, because this is not complex. It's extremely linear. You know exactly where you are at all times, because the settings are so different in the 2 different places, Earth, Mars, and Earth, space. Everything flows in the right direction. Nothing goes off on weird paths. I don't remember any weird side quests, like weird ones, but there's obviously the little ones to get Mark back into space instead of being stuck on Mars, right? And those were necessary. They weren't just like, oh, I'm going to look at this rock because it's pretty. Like
no, like he had to like go and get stuff like that he needed to make his journey to the other, like, not rover, but like the other spaceship. Like everything like he did, he had to like problem solve to like come up with all this like solutions like for him to stay alive and then like get back to Earth somehow. So like,
that's one thing I really liked about
really
this
necessary.
Plot. It kind of there was no real fluff in the plot. I mean, maybe a few characters that were a little bit unnecessary, but in terms of the plot, it kind of just got right down to the point, and
like you knew exactly what was supposed to happen, and you knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah, it was just all straight to the point. They didn't waste any time on any unnecessary things, and really good plot.
You know what would be interesting in my opinion is what if he didn't make it back? What if something actually did go wrong? Like, what if that happened in this movie? Obviously, it wouldn't do good. People wouldn't like it because of that. But what if that did happen?
They changed the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's not really a lot of like emotion necessarily to this movie. Or like tension. And I feel like
it was tense. I thought it was pretty tense.
It was tense. Yeah. This was pretty tense, honestly.
Like the problems he faced, like they weren't just like thrown in there just to like be thrown in there. Like, he's like seemed believable. Like, oh, the airlock blew
and
up.
Everything was like so true to what could actually happen, like so realistic.
Exactly.
There was nothing like, how did that happen? Like there's no plot holes in this movie, and that's what I love.
There are no plot holes in Interstellar. But,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. What I'm trying to say is like that wouldn't really fit the tone of this movie. Like he's always like really like optimistic throughout the whole thing, and
not always, but well, yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to say, but like I feel like they would have had to like shift a lot of things to make that ending make sense and like make it be a good ending.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone have anything else? Yeah.
I just like how they did it, and I think it was done fine. It was done good enough. It wasn't crazy. It wasn't bad. That's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
Yeah, I don't have any problems with it. Yeah.
All right then, Scoochie Doochie us along.
All right. So now, let's talk about pacing. I'll start us off. I felt like the pacing of this movie was all over the place and not done well. Again, the beginning, they should have had more there. It was super fast when it didn't need to be. And but after that, for a long time, the pacing's really good. Like, the most interesting part of this movie for me was like just him doing stuff on Mars, like going around, growing plants and all
definitely.
that. And like, I love like the montage sort of scenes of him just doing stuff. And,
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
kind
That
of
was
like
cool.
how it's centered around him, kind of.
in fact, I feel like I was getting kind of bored when they were doing the rescue part.
You just
But,
wanted
like-
to see him plant some crops.
Yeah, like him doing
Yeah.
stuff on Mars. That was like,
But
that
were
was
you
cool.
bored because it was going too long, or were you bored because it's just you wanted to see him plant some potatoes?
I was a little bit of both, but like I feel like,
You should have planted more potatoes.
yeah, and, like there wasn't really like there was tension in some parts of this movie. Like again,
A lot of parts of this movie.
yeah, like him like stapling his wound, but
That was gross.
not in the rescue scene. I feel like the rescue scene was like,
Really?
yeah, like they were oh we're so far up, we need to go down more and all that, and he's kind of just like, okay. And it's just I just didn't think it was done well.
He had to.
It wasn't very
They
interesting.
on both of the ends they had to make adjustments. Like he had to punch the holes in the suits. They had to make the bomb and stuff. I mean,
Bomb?
I enjoyed that because it was tense because both sides had
I
to
liked-
do something exactly correct in order for everything to work, and that's what I think made it so tense.
I like the problem solving aspect of it. Like what they physically did, like that was good. They didn't have to change that, but like I feel like just in the matter of the movie, like how what they're doing is captured, I feel like there's just something that didn't go right with that. Or well, not necessarily
How so?
right, but just like they just didn't capture it well, in my opinion.
Huh.
Like it felt like the movie had run out of steam by the time they did the rescue portion. Like I was,
Like by then you already knew he was gonna be fine, so you're like, why do I even need to watch this?
and like they go through so many things where like, oh, we're fucked now, that's it, we're done. Like when the supply thing they launched, when that blew up, and then it just gets solved like instantly, like the next scene, and like they just go through so many like huge problems, huge unsolvable problems that just get solved, that by the end of the movie you're just like, I don't care anymore. Like I just want to see him grow potatoes. But like it just feels like the movie ran out of steam. Like there was so much momentum and just like forward driving, like it was fast paced, like montage style stuff in the middle of the movie where he was doing all the stuff on Mars, and then after that it really took a focus on the people like at mission control, and like they weren't
Like-
interesting people at all.
Like they like
just weren't
I mean, like I
interesting
get it, they're important to get him back, but it's not as important and it's not as tense as me being like, oh my god, am I gonna survive on this planet? Instead of being like, yes, we could send him the signal at this time and maybe he'll catch it. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, it's interesting, but not as interesting as what's actually happening on Mars.
right.
Yeah, because they like
mean,
tried to do something with like the political aspect of like,
Yeah, I hated
oh,
that.
to be like, yeah, that I don't think that was
Politics
really
in
needed.
movies is stupid. Unless
What
it
do you
needs it.
What do you mean, like with the what political
Like,
stuff?
It's
When they
like,
didn't tell
oh,
anyone.
should we tell like the public that the person we told was dead is actually alive, and then all that stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that was
And,
like, eh.
and like
Yeah.
I hated
what do
like
you,
the very very ending. Like they didn't show them like actually like he got onto the I forget what the ship was called, the Hermes, and then
Mhm.
they just
Yeah.
like cut to
Hermia?
him like teaching a class, but like they didn't show like them actually getting home or
That would be
wasn't it
landing.
really necessary that like
Yeah,
I didn't? I thought that was fine. I
And,
didn't.
like this the scene of him just teaching a class that was pretty cringe.
He's like, yeah, bro, I went to Mars and I
Yeah.
survived. I mean, yeah, it's cool, but like, I went to
Yeah.
Mars.
Like
I went to Mars.
what he was saying wasn't bad.
Just its
I mean, it wasn't, like-
presentation, just the,
Yeah.
the fact that it was there, just made it didn't flow naturally.
Like I feel like imagine them like just like splash down in the middle of the ocean, and then they get dry, and then they're just like, oh, can we get a statement from you? Like
Mhm.
what's going through your mind right now? And he's like gives this speech about like determination and never giving up. So like basically what he said at the end to the class.
But
Like,
right
I
after
feel like
when
they
he
could have
said,
tweaked that a bit, made it better. It wasn't really memorable,
Mhm.
but like he could have just like said
I
something.
kind of liked it. I kind of liked it. I mean, it kind of summed up his experiences. I mean,
Yeah.
in
I
I don't
know.
know. I don't know.
I thought it was pretty cringy at the end.
I mean, like they were saying, like,
I
he's like
really
a
didn't
really
think it
respected
was.
member of society. So like, obviously he's like told his story to everybody, so like they know what he's about. And then he's like, ooh,
Yeah.
I want to like share some tips and all that stuff. And I mean, I didn't hate it, but like I didn't like really love it. So yeah, I'm just kind of in between on it.
I mean, I also thought it'd be kind of funny, and it also like fit with the tone of the movie if they did the thing where it's like fade to black screen. And it's like Mark went on to teach astronauts. And, like they just like recap like what all the characters did after the events of the movie.
Yeah, they
Here's what I'm
could have
talking
done
about.
something like that.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
sort of like cheesy sort of thing.
I feel like that's kind of. I really don't like when movies do that. It's just
I
super
mean-
lazy.
I mean,
in
the
my
only
opinion.
reason like the movies you see that in are kind of like historical movies, or like,
Yeah, but
oh,
like
this is like based off of real life events,
But,
and like
but
they
Luke,
do
you
that.
can call that lazy, but in this movie, they just didn't say anything about it at all. I mean, at least they're telling you. And it's not that it's like
I mean,
I get it. It's kind of cringy, but I feel like that fits the kind of cringe this movie is going for. Like, that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. That's like a highlight of this movie.
Right.
Like, it's not trying to be super serious. It's
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
do
yeah,
something.
yeah.
It's like
It's trying to be
fun
scientific serious, but not serious.
It's science with like a more
Slight comedic science fiction,
Yeah.
realistic
and I mean,
movie.
Yeah,
like
and
Well-
I think that's kind of what the teaching scene did at the end. I think that did what it had to do.
it did it, but not as well.
You're
I
losing me.
don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
I feel like
Adam, you're losing me now.
This movie,
yeah.
Yeah, Adam, I don't
I'm
really
not
get a
good at
lot of these points.
saying words.
I don't really agree with too many of these things that you're saying.
Adam's just going crazy. He watched.
Yeah.
He's been up for
It's just 'cause
58
we watched
hours.
it at 3 a.m. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, I got besides the 4 hours of sleep I got last night, 58 hours probably isn't that far off.
Maybe that's your issue.
Maybe.
Yeah, that might be it. Yeah.
But I don't know, kind of going back to that, I feel like this movie, where it's like a more upbeat space movie and there's still like some science there, I feel like that's more marketable to like modern audiences than a serious interstellar sort of movie.
But then why did Interstellar work so well? If you're saying it like that.
Well, I mean, Interstellar.
that came out recently.
I'm saying it's more marketable. I'm not saying it's better. In my opinion, Interstellar is much better, even though I do like this movie. But I feel like more people would generally like The Martian than Interstellar.
Okay, yeah. Because like Interstellar is hard to understand. Once you understand Interstellar, you can.
It's like it's all serious and stuff.
Yeah, just people don't like feel very invested enough into a movie to like really learn about it. So if it's too complex for some people, then it's like, oh, I didn't like it because I don't get it. But if like you're really interested in a movie,
that's never a reason to hate a movie because you don't get it.
Yeah,
that's a you problem, honestly.
Yeah. But then again, these modern audiences we're talking about here, like,
are dumb as bones
halfway through the movie because it drags so much in the middle. Like when they're focusing on the mission control people, like it just, I don't know if you guys felt this way, but it was just like so boring.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to stop watching.
Really feel
not really.
I didn't feel bored at all, and really,
I didn't want to stop watching. It takes a lot for me to want to stop watching, but like it was just, I was just like, all right, let's move on. This is enough stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I guess like they just had to do some important stuff. Maybe, like, I mean, obviously, like the stuff that they had to do, like with the whole like communicating with people at Earth, like with that little tiny rover, like with the camera. I mean, like that was necessary. Like,
yeah.
I don't know like what specifically you're talking about, but I feel like for the most part, like the stuff on Earth, it was probably needed. I mean, there's obviously some sort of points. I don't know like which ones, but some of them weren't needed, but like for the most part, I think they were fine.
I don't really think anything was unnecessary that actually happened. Like,
I'm not saying it was unneeded.
I'm just curious, like,
I'm just saying it's
like
paced
you said,
poorly.
like, ooh, this stupid stuff. Then, like, what
Okay,
kind
that
of
was
stuff
a
did you
poor
think was
choice of words.
stupid?
It's not stupid, and it's not unneeded. It's just paced poorly and organized poorly.
Okay.
Like about 50%.
Not poorly. It's more of just it's hard to understand.
No. I wouldn't say so. But,
no, but I think it's just like it could have done without it. It would have been fine without it.
Wait,
I don't.
Without what?
No, I
feel like we're just talking about.
I just
the
think
stupid NASA scenes. Some of the forced in NASA scenes. There were some important ones, but the forced ones.
Yes, exactly.
The ones that really felt forced did not need to be there because they were forcing it in because they're like, oh, we gotta make a joke.
Yeah. So I can tell that I'm alone in my way of thinking here. So let's just
a little bit, but I mean, yeah, we all have our own opinions, and that's good.
All right, let's talk about the cinematography of this movie.
It was decent. It was average. Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's not that much to say. We kind of already talked about the sound effects, but they had really good color grading.
Did.
I really liked the color grading on this film. I liked the space shots. They were good. It felt good enough. Again, that's really it. There's really nothing much more to say about that.
I mean,
it was a 2015 sci-fi movie. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, they had cool wide shots, like with the rover going through different parts. Yeah, I mean that sums up the movie pretty well. Yeah.
You guys seen Arrival? Oh, it's 2016.
No, I've not seen
Arrival was great, amazing. It's directed by that French guy I was talking about.
That French guy.
Blade Runner 2049. He was going to do Dune. I'm gonna pronounce this wrong, guys, so don't kill me. But it's like Denis Villeneuve.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna cancel you. That was pretty racist.
Yeah. But
Some
yeah,
cultural
that's-
appropriation, I see.
I think he's probably like has the most promising career upcoming of like any director today. Like he's just getting started and he's got some really good stuff.
Nice.
Okay. So yeah, I don't know why we're talking about that. So what were we talking about?
Cinematography. We should already probably move on.
Yeah.
We already pretty much said whatever.
I
Yeah,
thought
I
it
assume.
was
Good.
pretty good.
Nothing crazy. It was just good. It did its job.
All right, so let's talk about symbolism and themes.
All right, I'll go off these ones, and I'm pretty sure these are all over the internet too. But these are the only ones I really noticed was the dust storms and his potato farm and shit. The dust storms were more of like that he's not invincible, and that he's not just because he got in the planet doesn't mean it's gonna be easy on him. Those dust storms signify that there's gonna be tough, there's gonna be danger, like you're in the unknown. That's really what I felt like that was. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Or you can go, Adam.
I feel like the potato farms were kind of like a symbol of hope. He grew potatoes and he was like, wow, I can actually do this. Like, I'm actually surviving here. And then the potatoes didn't make it. Rest in peace. And he just lost hope after that. And you can see like he really lets himself go. Grows a beard, all of that.
Yeah.
And like he just gets less. His character feels less
Optimistic.
Less human.
Yeah, but like I don't know. He's sort of like I'm bad at. I cannot speak right now. He's less. I don't know. Yes.
You're trying to make something up that you haven't thought of.
No, I have thought of it. I don't know the word for it. It's like
pick a word that's pretty close. Pretty close.
Go on Google, search up a synonym.
he's less enthusiastic. He's less enthusiastic about.
Wow,
stuff.
you did basic
Could've just
English.
said that.
Congratulations.
He makes less jokes and like I don't know. It feels like he's like kind of like.
Oh my god, it's like being stranded on a planet alone with little to no food makes you feel less optimistic and less enthusiastic. No shit, Sherlock.
Of course.
Yeah, but he never gives up hope. But then his potatoes die and he's all sad.
Well, yeah, who wouldn't be sad if their like main food source would like go away because their airlock blew up?
Okay.
But okay, Adam, I get where you're coming from for like at the beginning, like when he did the potato farm, he was like, all right, I can do this, I can survive.
Yeah.
Before he made it and before he had the idea, he was just kind of like, I probably just gonna die. Like that like the first message that he sent.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm alive, but I'm probably gonna die in a couple of days.
Yeah, and
But then with the potato farm, he was
like a year. Yeah. I mean, he had like enough rations, he said, for like a year or something, but like that's not enough like to what he needed to get to.
Yeah, exactly.
Just watch the scene where he's like he's looking at the dead potatoes and like the scene after that, and he's different. He's very different.
Yeah.
Congratulations, he's different.
I get it.
Yeah, that's what character development is.
I think I'm thinking way too much about this. I don't think the potatoes are a symbol. I think they're just potatoes.
I get what you're saying. I like with.
He's reacting to the potatoes. Okay, that's it. There's no symbol.
Yeah, I feel like a theme of like overall just like him problem solving. I think that's a theme, but like obviously he's just like faced with some tough situations and
Situations.
yep, yeah, and he's dealing with them. He's like doing his best, and sometimes bad stuff happens, but you know, he just dealt with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm dying inside right now.
To that 4 hours of sleep you got. Yeah.
I'm doing such a good job in this review.
Oh yeah, you're doing great.
I'm making some great points.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely are.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah.
Drunk points. Nice.
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 Yeah.
Dude.
So that was a great talk about pacing. Yeah.
Nice.
No.
Or no,
Yeah,
we were on
pacing.
cinematography.
Yeah,
right.
I almost skipped pacing again. This time, if you don't.
No,
like, usually pacing comes
did-
before plot structure, but I remember that the last second
Yeah.
after we did plot structure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So, what comes after
Alright.
cinematography?
Yeah.
Symbols and themes. We already talked about symbols and themes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
You
god.
guys are really out of it, aren't you?
My noise suppression is great, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm happy
Yeah.
about that. Yeah, okay. All right.
Okay.
So
That was kind of like bit of a
Yeah, so-
tangent, but okay.
yeah.
So, Adam, why don't you move us on to the
Yeah.
final ratings?
Actually, first, like just a quick thing.
Okay.
Let's talk about Ridley Scott. We already watched Blade Runner.
Good movie. Aliens also
yeah.
good.
Mhm.
Watch that.
Yeah. But how
Ridley
does
Scott, very space, very futuristic sort of thing he does.
But how does this change or reinforce your opinions on Ridley Scott?
I mean, yeah, I think this was kind of like his comeback movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he made a lot of his big movies, I'm pretty sure, like, back in, like, this 80s.
This is kind of his
If-
way out.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but, like, this was kind of his, like, comeback movie. Like, he
I mean,
he
well,
hadn't really made a whole ton of amazing movies before this, but this one kind of like caught everyone's attention.
excuse me. Yeah, a whole ton of amazing.
No, I mean like in the couple of years prior to this movie, like the 10 years prior.
This is really his most popular movie in the 2000 scene.
It's kind of what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna be pretty controversial here, but I
Fair enough.
actually really like Prometheus.
Prometheus School of Running Away from Things.
I mean, I'm even like debating this with myself, but like I feel like Prometheus was good. And he directed that in 2012. So
I didn't really like that.
Yeah, but I
mean, it was
I don't think
definitely
it's-
a change of direction from previous movies, but
Mhm.
like I enjoyed Prometheus.
I bet you
Covenant-
did.
Covenant
you
is-
may
A lot more iffy, but Prometheus was good.
I mean, yeah, you may have enjoyed it, but I mean, it didn't get nearly as much of like publicity as many of his other movies.
Well, I mean, publicity, yeah, but not good publicity. Like they're like, oh wow, prequel after like 40 years, 30 years. Wow, Ridley Scott's
Wow.
making a comeback to the series. That's pretty cool,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, there was like I don't remember it because like I wasn't I didn't even know Alien existed in 2012, but from what I've like seen on the internet, people were pretty excited about it. I don't know why we're talking about this.
Adam, you're just losing your shit, dude. Honestly.
I really am. I really am.
Why don't we just move us along before you say something stupid?
Well, I think I said the first stupid thing like half an hour ago.
Oh.
So we're long past that.
Oh god.
But let's talk about the final rating, guys. I guess there's no one here I really have to
Explain how to rate a movie.
explain
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Right, Adam, why don't you go first? Then Nick, then Luke, then moi.
Nice.
Okay. So, I actually have to think about this because I haven't thought about it yet.
Okay, then Luke, go first, and then Adam.
I think I'm gonna go with a 8.5 out of 10 for this movie. Yeah, really, really great plot structure. I thought the acting was solid. Although there were some a little bit unnecessary characters, but I thought the movie progressed along really nicely, really smoothly, and of course, great visuals. So, yeah, 8.5 out of 10.
Nice.
How about you, Misha?
Alright, I'm gonna give this movie a 7 out of 10. It was interesting. I mean, I wouldn't go out of my way to watch this movie. I like the movie. 7 out of 10 is still good. Good visuals. Okay dialogue. Okay acting. So, okay, how about this? Mark Watney, pretty good acting. Everyone else, okay. That's my verdict.
Yeah.
Adam, what about you?
Well, this is gonna seem really interesting because, like, it would seem that I've been hating on this movie this entire review.
He's gonna be like 12 out of 10.
And Misha hasn't, but I'm gonna give it 0.5 higher than him. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 because it's an enjoyable movie. There's just a lot of problems with it, but because of the nature of the movie, I am willing to overlook those problems.
Because it's a space movie, you'll give it brownie points.
Yeah, also that.
Okay.
But, like, I mean, when compared to other recent sci-fi movies, not naming any names here, it's not the best. But yeah, I mean, 7.5 is still a pretty solid rating. So that's that.
All right, Viv.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to follow suit with Luke. I think this is a solid, or no, I'm gonna give this one an 8. I think Luke gave it an 8.5, right? Yeah, I'm gonna give it a solid 8. I enjoyed this movie. It's definitely up there in the sci-fi movies that like have come out recently. Good actors, like they got a lot of big names in the movie, and I enjoyed the plot, and yeah.
Wow, we all had a different rating. I don't think we've ever done that before.
I know, that's pretty crazy.
We should make a really clickbait title: Most Controversial Midnight Movie Review.
Hates on movie, gives it good rating anyways.
Yeah.
It was
you were like disagreeing with everything. You were disagreeing with everything I said for the whole movie, and then you only gave it like 1 point less of a rating than me.
Yeah, I like this movie.
I like this movie, but this is wrong with it. I hate this bit, and I hate this bit, but I love it.
Yeah, but I love it. Yes.
Movie, but it's great. Yeah, I didn't really hate anything in this movie. It was just like boring sometimes.
Yeah.
Not really.
Okay, guys.
Anyway, I think that's it.
We all
guys.
respect each other's opinions.
Yeah, we all love each
even
other.
If they're different. Yeah.
Yeah, except Misha's. I don't respect his opinion.
Me neither.
Ooh.
Okay, if you guys didn't catch it, this week we watched a pretty good space movie, The Martian, directed by Ridley Scott. We've watched another one of his movies, Blade Runner, and we've reviewed it. So if you want to go check that out, go check that out. We're all going to say goodnight, and we're going to catch you on the flip side. Adam, do you know what movie we're going to be watching for next episode?
No fucking clue.
Great. All right, guys, I'm going to say goodnight. Luke's going to say goodnight. Nick's going to say goodnight. And Adam will be last once again. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Hello.
No, Adam, no. Wrong. You're supposed to say goodbye. Adam,
You just
come on.
ruined the outro.
Aye. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.